You are hanging out with the Monkey, the official podcast of OddsMonkey, the number one match betting service in the world. Thanks for joining us again, guys. It's great to have all our regular listeners back. And for any newbies, we're delighted to have you on board. We hope we can give you a few nice tips and point you in the right direction, especially when it comes to match betting. And we do have a little treat for you on the podcast once again, guys. If you haven't had a chance to try our OddsMonkey Premium yet, then you can give it a go with a little help from us on the podcast. We have a sign-up code for you, POD OFFER. PODOFFER, which gives you 10 full days of OddsMonkey Premium for just £1, giving you full access to all the offers, the guides, and the tools, and it helps you make match betting that bit more simple. We'll repeat the offer again at the end of the show, so keep listening and we hope you enjoy what's to come. My name's Graeme Bailey, I'm presenting today. I'm once again delighted to be joined by Ricky from OddsMonkey.
Hiya.
And Phil from Chucky Bet.
Hi.
Great to have you on board again, guys. So in today's episode, we're going to be looking towards the Ashes, which officially begins today, the start of the Football League season, and a bit on Glorious Goodwood, which is already in full flow. Just to let you know, guys, we won't be talking too much about Premier League today, as we'll be covering that in a special next week, and we'll talk a bit more about those offers. So on to the Ashes. The summer really is here, guys, and cricket has been a huge talking point after England won the World Cup. Rick, there's not as many offers as the Cricket World Cup, as is such. Bookmakers obviously get a lot more money from the one-day event, but there's still a couple of offers in the Rick for us to look at.
Yeah, there's a few kicking around. Just to point out again, they are all listed on the site and available. But I picked out something a little bit different than the norm. Cobble have got an offer on where you can place it back and lay £10 bets. So you back the match winner for the first test, England or Australia, lay that off, and for every 50 runs on the first day, you'll get 2 free spins. It's a little bit different than the norm, but you should be able to get a qualifying loss of around 30 or 40 pence, and hopefully get around 10 or 12 spins at least from the runs that are produced on day one.
Yeah, and Phil, obviously we talked previously when the Cricket World Cup was on about there was a cracking run scorer bet, wasn't it, where if you backed, I think it was David Warner we highlighted at the time, and that would have paid off quite nice. And there's something not quite as good but a bit similar on offer.
Yeah, William Hill are doing a bet 20 on the top batsman market, and you can get £10 per century that player scores as a free bet. The only thing is with this one, you need to be quick on it because you have to have your bet placed by 11 o'clock today. Because obviously the Ashes is starting soon, but yeah, it should be a good offer. Like we said, Warner, it was 50 runs in the World Cup, and Warner did that quite a few times. So I don't know how common centuries are in the Ashes, but you know, there's a good chance of a couple of free bets there if you pick the right player.
Yeah, going to obviously we have to remind everyone listening, the Ashes is over 5 matches, 5 tests, and so it spans the next 6 weeks. So it's one where you can keep an eye on. You'll be able to dabble most days on it, but it will be ongoing for the next 6 weeks. And obviously coming to that, we've got to pick our winners here, guys. A lot of people, obviously, Rick, there was a lot of good offers, wasn't there, before the World Cup of the double. I think both of you guys picked out the double in one of our previous podcasts that it was good value. So that's still on. And England are very much firm favourites to take the Ashes, aren't they? I think best price even money at the minute.
They are pretty much 50-50 with the odds. I say, but we say England do need to win the series. So I've picked out a little bit of a bet of, with the English weather the way it is. And 5 tests, you can see at least 1 or 2 possibly being a draw, or with the weather affecting that. And still fancy England to win the series. So I'm looking at a 2-1 England victory with the best price 16-1. So that's a little bit of value for me if the weather plays its part and reduces some of the tests.
That's not bad. Phil, can you see past England? It's they're on a high after the World Cup, Anna, so it's hard to see past the English not winning, isn't it?
Yeah, I do fancy England strongly, and there's a lot going on with Australian sport at the minute. There's a big microscope over it, with performance-enhancing drugs and stuff. Not in cricket, but just in general, there's quite a lot going on. So I don't know. I think they might feel a bit of extra pressure with that.
And they've got the 3 band lads back, haven't they? It's Smith, Warner, and Bancroft are all together for the same time, so the pressure's on them to perform. Otherwise, there'll be a lot of criticism coming from down under. I do wonder about the draw. I think 6-1 on the series being drawn, as Rick said, with English weather as well. I do wonder if there's a bit of value there. So It's one for guys to look out for. But obviously, we need to remind everyone, don't we, guys, that if you're betting on the series, you're tying up stuff for the next 6 weeks, isn't it? It's not done and dusted really quick. And would the Rick, if it were Phil, if they were paying out on, if they were backing a series thing, and England went 3-up, would it depend on which, if a bookie would pay out then and then, or would they have to wait for the end of the 5th Test match?
Probably vary from bookie to bookie. Most of them will probably pay out once the result is declared. I know the exchange definitely would, but
yeah, but it's not guaranteed. So again, check the odds and the offers. And as Ricky alluded to, everyone, the guides are on site. All the rules and regulations are there. So please check when you're doing any of these. The guys have written guides to help you. So please check them out. And yeah, we're only just into August, but the Football League season is about to begin. We've got a few offers ready to come in, and we're delighted that it's been confirmed that the Bet365 2-up offer is back, Ricky, for the new season. And there was a bit of concern in the match betting industry that it might not come back, but we're delighted that this one's been brought back, aren't we?
Just a little bit. Yeah, it's by far and away the best offer of last season, and we're all keeping our fingers crossed. But yeah, good old Bet365 have, even if it's only till the end of August, yeah, Bet365 have confirmed it's never available again. So it's a big relief for a few of us because it's a good earner for us. And yeah, it is back, and there's quite a few match bettors relieved to see this return.
Yeah, so obviously that comes in for when you're picking a game. Phil, just give us a quick recap of a two-up offer. How does it work in theory?
So you place a bet on your selected team, and obviously you lay them off. And if that team goes 2 goals ahead in the game, Bet365 will immediately pay you as a winner. So as much bettors, we can use this to our advantage because we still have our lay bet in play, so we can cash that out once that happens and make a profit, or we can hold on to that lay bet and hope there's a swing in the game and potentially win both bets. So there's a few different tactics to where people play this, but it can be a very big earner if there's a big, if somebody goes 2-up and then it comes back and they lose 3-2, you can get really big payouts on this offer.
Yeah, so it's what to look out for, guys. And Bet365, Paddy Power do this as well, don't they, guys? They haven't confirmed this coming back yet, but they're mainly Premier League, aren't they?
Yeah, and probably nobody will really miss it if they don't bring it back because Paddy Power's odds compared to Bet365 are just rubbish. So it was kind of not very often that you would do that offer with Paddy anyway.
So, and Ricky, we've got Golden Goal coming back as well, haven't we? But that's more Premier League.
Yeah, more the bigger games, but they brought it back for the Gallagher Community Shield this coming weekend. But reduced the stake a little bit. I think it's now £25 instead of 50, but it's still a good offer to be involved with. And nice to see that return as well.
Cool, and I'd say we'll go into more detail on that one next week in our Premier League special. But back to the Football League, and again, Bet365 are doing an offer, aren't they, Rick, of 10-up in the league, but this isn't really a match betting offer, is it? It's more for if you're going to be backing the league winners. It's not a bad place to do it, but don't be thinking this is a match betting offer. It isn't really, is it?
I won't be getting involved from a match betting point of view. You say it's if you're looking at a team that's going to go 10 points ahead, their odds are going to be really, really small anyway to try and cash out at any point. You would be hoping for them to blow the lead, and you are tying your money up as well for the season, or most of the season at least anyway. But if you are going to have a punt on the league winners, then Bet365 have got the right odds. Then yeah, it's something that's like an added bonus, so to speak. Yeah, but from a match betting point of view, it's best to be left alone.
Cool. And right, let's get on to our picks. I know a lot of listeners love our picks as we are, and we haven't got a bad strike rate at all recently. So, Championship, guys, who are we liking? I'll have a little dabble first here. My winners, I think Fulham at 7-1, a great price. I think they're by far the best team in this division. They've kept Mitrovic, they've kept Kearney, they've added Knockaert and Cavallero. They're this standout squad by a million miles. I think the Leeds are far too short, so I think that's helping Fulham's price come out. So Fulham would be my pick. Rick, who would be a pick for winners?
As much as I don't like agreeing with you, so they were, Fulham are my pick for the actual winners of the league. Leeds had their chance last season. I think they did play some good football. But yeah, I think Fulham keeping most of the squad, and yeah, I think they're my favourites to go up. But as an alternative bet and somewhere that's right towards the bottom of the betting is a small team called Barnsley, who I believe are a cracking price at 18-1 to get in the top 6. I know you've got some more information on the manager, etc. now to talk about. But I think that's a really good price for them to try and make the playoffs.
No, I think I completely agree with Eric. I think Daniel Stendhal is one of these managers who he'll do a Marco Silva. I think he'll go very high in the English game. Last year in his first season in England, he was undefeated at home in League One. Remarkable achievement. And he beat Portsmouth and, Sunderland to promotion, which again, fantastic effort. It really was. And they've made 10 signings. I think they're in double figures now. They've got good American backers. And I know everyone might scoff at us here, but let's think back to Preston and stuff. They were probably bigger prices when they got to the playoffs, or nearly there. So I think that's a real one for everyone to watch as Barnsley here. Phil, in terms of winners, do you think, are you thinking Fulham as well, or have you got your eye on someone else?
Yeah, I don't see really how you can look past Fulham with their squad and the money they spent last season, and they've retained most of those.
That deal of just giving Mitrovic, I think he's probably the highest paid player in that division now. I think they give him a wage rise and they've gone down, which shows the disparity in the division, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, apart from Fulham, I mean, Leeds are a really short price again, but I can't see Leeds competing with Fulham for the title.
No, I think Stoke are an interesting one as well, but we don't know how good Nathan Hughes is, do we, either? So it's a really interesting league, this one. But yeah, there is value out there with Leeds being so short. But and on to League One. I went past the Championship there without even talking about Middlesbrough. So we're going to breeze over them, as I don't think we'll be challenging for promotion in any way, shape or form. But your team, Phil, will be challenging for promotion, and you are once again the firm favourites. Sunderland are 7-2, 3-1 in places. Are you a bargain bet, Phil, or are you far too short?
Too short, yeah. I have my doubts. They've made a few signings. They look like they've shored up at the back a little bit. But it all just depends on these lads up front. They look like they're just going to keep sticking with the guys they had up front last season, and they didn't score goals. So I'm not really looking forward to the season. I wouldn't be backing them to win the league for sure. I think Ipswich are much better value at 7-1. 6-1, but.
No, 7-1 in quite a lot of places. Yeah, I have to agree with you. I think. Well, you've got Will. You need someone like Will Grigg to go on a scoring run. You need a 25 goal a season man in this division, don't you? So
yeah, and in theory, Grigg is one, but last season he didn't look like that at all. So
no, and again, I have to agree with you there. I think Ipswich are the best for promotion there, and the third favourites behind Pompey at 5-1. I have to agree with that. I think they are a good one. I'd keep an eye on MK Dons for promotion. I think 25s at the minute. I think Paul Tisdale's a good manager, so he'd be one to watch his dark horses. Ricky, I know as a Liverpool fan, Championship sometimes is as far as you look down, but League One, do you think Phil's in for a good season or not?
I think they'll be up there. As I say, keeping the Liverpool connection a little bit. Nigel Clough at Burton. Showed some good form, more so in the League Cup last year, beating quite a few decent teams. They can be a bit more consistent in the league. I'm looking at them currently around 3-4-1, I think, for the top 6. So Burton would probably be the bet for me, just to try and sneak into the playoffs.
Yeah, I'd also thought a couple of other ones down there, Blackpool and Coventry. If they start the season well, keep an eye on them too, because they've got very good managers, the pair of them. So on to League Two, and we have a very short price favourite here, don't we? But Mansfield have actually been backed in massively in the last few days into 8s. But my pick here would be Bradford. I love the business they've done. I think they're very strong. I think, and you got other teams in there, the Salfords, who are far too short. Over to you, Rick. What do you think here? Do you think, judging by the odds, it's an absolutely wide open market, this League Two one, isn't it? It's hard to pick a favourite, and even the bookies are struggling.
Yeah, my knowledge of this League Two is not the greatest, but looking at the odds, it could be any one of them with a 9-1 favourite. But or am I to disagree if they're coming in? Go with Mansfield 9-1.
Yeah, and Phil, obviously, there's some big teams in League Two this season. They got Walsall, Colchester, Scunthorpe have gone down, Plymouth. This could be the best of the three divisions. This one, couldn't it, in terms of the battle for promotion?
Yeah, it just shows you like there's a lot of good teams starting to drop down the leagues and stuff. So no matter where you look, there's plenty of good teams. Plymouth last season were decent, to be honest, when they came up to Sunderland. So I expect them to be challenging. I think they've lost a couple of the better players, but overall they had a pretty solid squad. So I would fancy them quite highly to go straight back up.
And they've signed it with Ryan Lowe in charge. I think they've signed about 6 of the Bury team who got promoted, actually taking advantage of Bury's precarious situation. He signed half that team, so they've got experience of going up. So yeah, I don't disagree with that. I think they are a good pick. So we hope our Football League picks help everyone. Again, just a reminder, we'll be going over the Premier League in a bit more detail next week in our special. We'll try and only make it 60% Liverpool, thanks to Ricky. So we'll try and keep a lid on it a little bit for when he talks through their promotion charge. And let's look at Glorious Goodwood, guys. Rick, we're in the middle of Glorious Goodwood as we speak. For some reason, I find this with the bookies, with the flat racing, and despite the fact it gets so much TV coverage now, Goodwood gets lots. But don't flood us with offers here, do they?
No, it's not. In no way compare it to the likes of Cheltenham and that. There's still a little bit kicking around, but yeah, it's not grabbing the bookies and the bookies aren't trying to grab us with any great and amazing deals that are on there. You've got.
It's like a 5-day festival. It's like one of the biggest horse racing festivals in Europe, isn't it? But again, there's a couple of ones you can talk about, isn't there? But nothing huge. No,
nothing huge. You've got your normal, Sky Bet always tend to come out with something. They've got their second place refund as cash, and a new bookmaker, Virgin Bet, have joined in with that as well for the first race each day so far. They're giving you the same offer, so it's a couple of little decent ones, but nothing amazing compared to other festivals.
And Virgin Bet, is that a good one for people to be looking into? Have we got some good sign-up offers there?
Yeah, there is a sign-up offer. I can't think of what it is off the top of my head. I can tell you in a minute. But it's always nice when there's a few bookies doing the same offers, because you can get on a few different horses and increase your chances of triggering a refund.
That's a great tip. Yes, well, as I said, we mentioned Virgin Bet there. And Phil, the guides are on site, aren't the sign-up offers for every bookmaker is on site, isn't it, as part of the premium service?
Yes, and the Virgin Bet sign-up offer is bet 10, get 2 £10 free bets. So bet 10, get 20 for that one. So it's pretty decent. It's worth signing up with them because they are putting out a few offers at the moment.
Cool. And that guide is on site for everyone to check out. Ricky and the guys and everyone is there for you to give you a helping hand as well if you need it. But again, thanks to Phil and Ricky for joining me again today. But before we leave, we were talking about the premium offer there, and we do have the pod offer for you guys, POD or FFER. If you go to checkout and you sign in with that offer, you will get 10 full days of OddsMonkey Premium for just £1. And so things like Virgin Bet and all the other bookmakers you can take advantage of. Use the guides and the tools, and it's all there for you to help. So thanks for joining us again today, guys. Just a quick reminder, we will be back next week for a Premier League special. So don't think you've missed out on that. But again, thanks for joining us today, and happy match betting.